I've won and lost against the best. This old road's been a hell of a test. But I'm still driving, I ain't slowing down. There's rules I'd love to break and bend, mistakes I've made again and again. But I tell you this, my friends, I'm still around. I hit it hard, man, so far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man, till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it hard.
Another edition of Average Goats. How's it going, playa? It is time for the Players' Championship this week. Joel, Michael, how are we doing today?
Great.
Ready for warm weather.
Warm weather after this Saturday in Northwest Indiana. It will be here in the next, one of the sites I was on, like 21 to 28 days. It's like anywhere from 52 degrees to 68. So I think we're going to get over the hump after this weekend.
Countdown's on.
Punxsutawney Phil.
What'd I tell you? Got 2 words for you. But
What is the correct pronunciation for that groundhog?
Punxsutawney.
Punxsutawney Phil?
Punxsutawney?
Yeah. Or there's Woodstock Willie or whatever his name is in Illinois. They try to do it.
CBD Willie?
Yeah. Next year we got Crown Point Carl coming out. And it's just going to be my hand in a puppet.
Gophers.
Yeah. But we've had a couple weeks off. Golf has been moving right along. A lot of exciting golf being played. Last week wrapped up at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Winner, Scotty Scheffler. And he couldn't win, and he's won his, 2 of the last 3 events he's played in now. He's one of the favorites going into this week's Players' Championship. What have you guys been thoughts about the golf that's been going on the last couple weeks?
Well, Scheffler's been hot.
Breaking news. Wow,
Yeah.
deep cut there, Mike.
Yeah. He's been real hot. I wasn't even I didn't
Real
watch
hot.
a ton of the Arnold Palmer, bits and pieces here and there, but I wasn't expecting him to win. And then, just looking late Saturday and Sunday, it's like, oh, there's Scheffler kind of thing, because I thought Hovland for sure would kind of have that one wrapped up, but nope. Course conditions got them all.
He made we'll get to that a little bit later, but he made a comment in his post-round interview, and it was about if it's a tournament where guys go low nonstop, where the winner's going to be around that 16 to 22, then no, he would have been out of it. But he made the cut, and he said, one good round could get me back into this, and then he shoots it on Saturday. What'd you think of that, Joel?
Well, didn't somebody say that at Riviera?
I don't remember that, but I definitely know Scheffler said that after winning the over there at the Palmer.
Yeah. Somebody said that at Riviera, too, where they just, it was Hostler, Bo Hostler.
That's right.
He said he just plays better at tougher venues, tougher conditions. And Scheffler's the same way. Rahm kind of says that too. That American Express out in California that he didn't play very well at, but everybody else played well because there was no rough.
Yep.
So
Doesn't
he
show.
said it was just a birdie fest.
Doesn't show in these tournaments that
So
performance lately, but
I don't disagree with that. I seem when I play myself, I seem to focus a lot tougher.
there we go.
Just because I want to grind out a good score.
Yeah, I agree. I
So-
think you focus a little bit more and
Maybe your targets narrow a bit when you're at those courses, so you're a little more focused. I know that, clearly Scotty's trying to keep the ball in the short grass there at the Arnie because that hay was thick.
lush.
Have you been there?
Lush. No,
I have not.
not yet. No, not yet.
I haven't either, in case you're wondering.
I was getting ready to ask you. Easy.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
man. You guys, you put the weapons down today. You guys have been going back and forth in the pre-show meetings.
Rory was none too thrilled with that.
Yeah, so let's get
tournament.
into this. PGA Tour pros, millionaires crying about the course conditions being too tough for them. What did you guys think of that? Overall thoughts, just why this tournament they thought they should unload.
We put it out to the group on our Facebook page, asking them what they thought, and everybody seemed to say they loved it.
Yeah, I don't. I like a U.S. Open. I like the idea of the U.S. Open, the winner being around even par, or if 3 under, great, 4 under, okay. But I get it. Like some weeks you want to watch them go 20, 22 under. That's cool. Like the waste management. That's such a good party atmosphere, and it's a fun golf course, and they go low, cool. I don't want to see it every week though.
No, I agree. And like the Honda and the Arnold Palmer Invitational have shown the last 5 or 6 years though, those are going to be two tough tests of golf, because I mean you have guys that just don't even play. They haven't played in 5, 6, 7 years because I'm sure they're saying it's a schedule thing, but the golf course has just chewed them up.
Correct.
I mean, there's some scoring averages that guys are like horrendous at both those places.
I always thought the PGA Tour should push back on that. And if you remember, you have to play an event at least once every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They kind of have, haven't they? You get a
Yeah, but,
bonus.
I mean,
bonus.
Like there was an
bonus
article.
pool.
There was an article a few weeks
Do you
ago
really want
talking
that-
about guys that were not playing in those, and they were like, they're like plus whatever for that tournament since they've played in it. Like DJ was one of those guys. It's like
okay.
he's bad.
Though. I mean, okay, so DJ, perfect example. Let's just use him as Exhibit A, we'll call it. He doesn't want to play there. He shoots over, and I only make 50% of the cuts. He's made so much other money. That's the only time some of these people are going to be able to see him. So if he takes that tour, if DJ takes that tournament off his list forever,
Yep.
at the age of 27, and he plays competitively to 45, a young golfer, old golfer, middle-aged golfer, they're never going to, in their window, in their peak fandom, they're never going to be able to see DJ, which is their home tournament. And this isn't like other pro sports where they're in town once a month or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
that schedule every year. You can kind of plan it. Like, and you have to drive farther to these venues, these
You're,
golf
you're
courses.
talking
So-
about the Kobe Bryant mentality for a game, right? If
correct. If I can
that,
go, I'm
that
going.
person's coming for the first time to watch me play, I'm going to give it everything I got, right?
Correct. Now, granted, there's a cut. So if you had tickets for the Saturday, that's I get it. You can only guarantee to see them every Thursday, Friday. But I'll tell you this is what got me going during that Arnold Palmer thing when they were all bitching, and it was they go back and they say, oh, some people say the equipment's too far, and then other people are like, well, the ball is advanced too much, and then they say, here's my take on golf as a whole. The athletes are so much better, and this is any sport you go to. You go watch a baseball, go watch like a 14-year-old kid travel baseball tournament. The way these kids are like athletes now, and they go to hitting clinics, they go to this. That's just the way the world is. These guys are athletes now. They didn't have this many high caliber athletes and players on the PGA Tour back in the day.
No.
And it's across the board, whatever sport it is. So that's number one. You can't stop evolution, right? It's going to happen. But what the PGA Tour has missed, what the PGA of America has missed, is they think that they know everything. And they could have went to somebody like me, the Golf Course Superintendents of America, and say, how can we toughen up this course without being gimmicky? Without these, I'm sorry, hot dog cooking, shirt folding, jacket guys out there picking the hole placement. inside of
Rolex
a ridge.
wearing.
Yeah.
Woo!
No, they're not cool like Ric Flair. These PGA guys think they know everything, and they quagmire stuff up so much. And it's like I don't know what it is, but why wouldn't you bring the guy that's out there nonstop, growing the turf
All year.
How can we make? They know the property better than anyone. That's just a fact.
What I don't
The good ones. Are there superintendents out there that aren't good? Absolutely. It's anything like any walk of life. What I'm saying though is those guys can be like, you want to make this course tough? We need to bring the fairway in over here 5 yards because this is where the grouping of the ball is. We need to bring this out over here. We need to let this grow up so when they bail out, they're penalized on it.
What I liked was Rory said it the best, I thought, after Saturday. He didn't play well. He shot 75 or 76 both Saturday and Sunday. And people were being penalized for good golf shots.
Mm-hmm.
They were hitting the middle of the greens, and the ball was still releasing
Yeah, but that's golf. Like,
40 yards through the greens just because that's not good. That's not golf. I mean,
come on.
do we like to watch it? For sure. But when they're hitting good golf shots, and they
I
can't stop 'em,
disagree.
they
But
can't
here's
stop 'em.
here's the other side of that. When they built that golf course from the spot that he's in, just hypothetical spot, he's not supposed to be hitting wedge from that spot. He's supposed to be hitting 6-iron from that spot. So to combat that, they have to go over the top firm so
Yeah.
the ball doesn't carry almost to that's the thinking behind it, right? To dictate the 6-iron play out of that rough rather than the wedge with the unbelievable grooves and the softest ball and the 17-layer core golf ball that's going to be reactive.
The whole,
These guys are really good at getting the ball out. I mean, I would rarely advance the ball out of rough that thick. Like, I would have a really difficult time hitting it that far like they do out of that rough. But the thought that that shot is just going to stay on the green because I hit a good golf shot, that's nonsense to me.
No, I
that
don't
ball
agree
is
with
going
that.
to,
Shot
because
out
it's
of
out of
the
the rough,
rough.
it's going to hit and go. And he did not hit many fairways. You can look at the stats. So yeah, he says I'm hitting good golf shots. I'm playing good golf. Well, clearly you didn't play well enough because
You didn't hit the fairway.
you weren't in the fairway every time.
I'm not talking about shots out of the rough. I'm talking
know,
about
but
seeing
what- I'm
shots
hearing
on
what
par
you-
threes, that balls are landing on the fronts of the greens and rolling through the greens. Hole 16, is that the par 5, right? Out there?
At the Arnold?
16 and then 17 is the par 3 and then 18's obviously. 16, I
Yes,
think.
yes,
16,
you're right.
That's a joke of a par 5. These guys are hitting like 8 irons into that par 5.
Correct.
I don't think the scoring average lined with that being an easy hole though, because they weren't making. I think the pins and the greens were the defense of having a short club into that.
I remember Tiger and Rory pumping it left, or Tiger or Rory pumping it left OB there the one year that they were in contention.
Rory just did it this past
Did
weekend.
he?
Blamed it on the. I think it was 16. He blamed it on the fire truck.
I don't understand why. I mean, they're playing, and there's another thing, the agronomy side of it, how they manicure these courses now is just
But they want to.
So
they want to
unbelievable.
tote, the advertising for the GCSAA on their commercials and stuff and on their broadcast. But like you're saying, they're not even.
GCSA doesn't get a proper seat at the table.
Yeah.
Honestly, those commercials are paid for by the GCSAA.
Yeah.
And I think the PGA Tour has
What you're
done
saying
the
is BS.
superintendents. I think the PGA Tour, you can say the Golf Channel, you can say a lot of these golf. You would say the Mount Rushmore of golf, right? The USGA, they haven't done enough to bring the superintendent
Involved.
of what they do to the forefront, and now they're all trying to do it on their own. The USGA has their green section. We knew some of this shit way back in the day, and you're going to spend money to say that you did the study to figure it out. There's not a collaboration, a working relationship there that could help golf even better. And I just think these courses, I mean, are insane. Like when I helped out at the Senior U.S. Open a couple years back at the Warren course in Notre Dame. I don't know if some of the people that we talked to listen to this. They went out there. It was insane. And the amount of money they did on top dressing fairways, that is not a realistic practice to an average club or your local public course. It's just not. We played there in a warm-up thing for golf course superintendents to see the course in May. So we're talking 6 weeks before the tournament. You hit out of the fairway, you could take your foot and just
Feel the green?
No, you could swipe the sand back in the hole. You didn't have to go get a divot bucket when you took a divot.
Yeah.
That's me staying it. You guys seen me. I mean,
He's a digger.
we dig. We hit
Negative 10 attack.
we hit sewer pipes sometimes, So
But kind of, like we've talked about before, going back to these guys have consistent conditions week in and week out.
Yep.
Now, Arnold Palmer and the Honda, some of these courses may get firmer or whatever, but it's the same conditions week in, week out. Us average guys, we might be playing fast and firm in July or August, and we might be playing in freaking hitting 3-inch divots in April and May just because of the rain.
well, think about this. Years back, you remember when the Masters came out and you heard this is perfect with the TV coverage that's going on right now, and you heard about sub air. They put
Yeah.
the sub air and they could suck the water out. And what's a place where I seen it? Oh, I was at a baseball game one time at Camden Yards. The Orioles were playing the White Sox, and there
Same
was like
system.
a 2.5, and it sucked it right out. Right. This place, the Sawgrass went through. They have sub air. They also, when they redid it, they put like an 8 or 9 inch cap with state of the art drainage out there. So yeah, they're capable. They got this rain shower, and the rain's going to stay around. They're saying the next couple days. It'll stay. They're not going to be doing lift, clean, in place on Sunday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just
They just
So
had-
like
they-
it's a
appreciate what you have when you're on tour. Is all I'm saying.
it's
Sometimes they lose the sight of the real world.
at the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So Rory goes out. Last 2 years, he's been leading the tournament Thursday, Friday. Plays well. At that course, are those greens getting that firm from Friday when he plays and shoots a sub par round to Saturday and Sunday when he's not capable of doing that? Have they firmed up that much?
So
If he's saying that basically I'm hitting good
Yes.
shots and getting penalized, they've firmed up that much in 24 hours, less than 24 hours from Friday to Saturday.
correct. So you got to remember, We shared a drone video of what they were just doing, like on the 16th and 17th hole at TPC to get ready for this championship. And you saw the amount of workers there. I mean, they were walk mowing the rough with like homeowner lawnmowers and bagging the
Yeah.
clippings. And you see the guy in the video, he's hand watering because they have enough staff to do something like that. So, yes. Yeah, they can.
Okay.
Because they just cut off the water.
Right.
And then, you know.
And obviously it's hotter down there.
It's hotter down there. It's been really dry in Florida this year from
Yeah.
what I learned when I was down there for a couple of weeks. And wasn't really any humidity. So you get an 85-degree day with no humidity. It's not like an 85-degree here in July.
Right.
Well, plus, these guys don't hit fat shots out of the fairway. Granted, they're pros. They're good, but the club just literally will bounce because the turf is so firm that it's almost borderline impossible to hit a ball.
So
flat.
I guess I have a hard time. I'm thinking about a few shots from watching some coverage, and I'm thinking about the shot that Victor Hovland hit on 18 on Sunday, knowing that he needed to make birdie on that hole. So he goes, and that was a really tricky pin because that green's firm and it gets real narrow where that pin is off to the right side.
He hit a good shot though.
He hit a great shot. And I know it didn't land on the green, but if it's as firmed up on the green, then it's got to be firm where his ball landed a foot off the green,
But it's stuck.
and it stayed there. So how does that ball not hop up? I was expecting that ball, and I think he was too, to bounce up and be like within like 5-6 feet, and it hit and it kind of stayed in the fringe or the rough right there.
Yeah.
So he barely carried the water, because there's like what,
Right.
like 2 feet of rough there, and it should have bounced up. I was expecting it to, and it didn't.
See, I would.
So like how is you hit the front of the green over here and it releases
My answer to
40
that.
feet, and then this one doesn't go,
My answer to that is I don't know why he's hitting that shot there.
because he got to make birdie.
Correct, but he should have been taking it like Tiger did all those years.
Trying to hit a little cutter in there.
Little cut, and you should be left.
True.
Where it feeds down to the hole.
I agree.
But they want to drop the ball right next to the hole and have it stop.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I was going to say with where they're landing the ball when these greens get real firm. If you know that's going to happen, then why in the hell are you flying the ball that close to the pin? Now, I know there's some holes they have to because it's forced carry or you got,
In their head, they're
But
so
still.
good, and the equipment is so good, and the ball is so good that they should be able to just throw a dart right there and it stop every time. And it shouldn't be like that.
No, it should not be. You should have to think about, and us as amateurs in July, usually when we've had a pretty dry July,
I love it.
you got to think about landing it shorter so that the ball bounces up. Because even at our club, if you land it,
Last
if
10
you go at
days
a
of
pin,
July through August, you know that you're going to get some roll.
if you get a pin, it's not staying there.
Right.
You can't play to the number.
Here's another question I have for you then. You brought up a couple points there about Rory, and yeah,
Like
he had
that
the
ball.
lead.
That ball flew. Look where that landed. Now, again, it's soft right there. But
Yeah, it's been raining all
Yeah.
morning in
Sorry, I
this
didn't mean
replay.
to cut you off there.
No, here's my question about Rory and what he's saying.
Well,
he had the
can't,
lead.
He can't hit a wedge, so that's what his main concern is.
Yeah, he's terrible.
He had the lead, right?
Yep.
And then last year he had the lead, and he won it 3 years ago. So ever since he's won that and the Players, I think he won the Players in 19.
I believe so.
Cool. Here's my question for Rory. Rory, at what venue are you closing?
Yeah. He's struggled
Rory.
to close quite a bit.
Rory, you were the man. I mean, I remember him,
Yep.
right, hitting a piss missile up
Yep.
Phil Mickelson's butt down at Valhalla to win his PGA down there, and
Yeah.
Phil was all mad because of the darkness. And when he won that tournament, it was like he had won X amount of majors. He was the heir apparent to be the guy. And now you look at it and you look at Rory and you're like, Koepka's right there.
Yeah.
And you look at someone like Jordan Spieth, and you look at someone that they haven't won as many majors as Rory yet, but I could see Kyle Morikawa having more than him.
Yeah.
I could see JT having more than him.
Yep.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, he
So
has
what happened to
struggled
Rory is the question.
Correct. He has struggled to close. So, and if you're Rory, he's learned so many times over the years where he's had to put his foot in his mouth because he spouted off and said something that he shouldn't have, right? So
And he was so happy when Phil spouted off and said all this.
Yeah,
crap, 'cause
took
he was
it
like,
off.
yeah.
But if you're
He had
Rory,
to smack Phil around a little bit.
why? I mean, I know he's frustrated, but why are you even saying that, knowing that you have to take some ownership of that too, like you're saying?
Yeah.
Hit better shots. If you're hitting good shots, hit better shots. Scheffler didn't seem to have a problem hanging on to where he was.
I think a great transition to that is the gentleman last night that got inducted to the Hall of Fame with the regular honorees. Obviously, everybody that listens to this show knows we're all pretty big fans of Tiger Woods and just astonished at what he's accomplished and what he keeps on doing. And one of the points I took away from last night, we're going to dive into this now. There was a lot of cool stuff I never knew about Tiger Woods, and I thought there can't be that much more out there that we don't know about Tiger. And there was like 5, 6, 7 things last night that just blew my mind. And one of them he said, and I'm gonna butcher this, but I'll put it out later. He said something about hard work. If you want it, you got to work for it hard. You got to earn it. And if you don't work hard, you don't have the right to think you deserved it.
Yeah.
Because you didn't pretty much work your ass off to get it.
Hard work, play easy, or hard work. Yeah.
And it comes from the Green Beret mentality that his dad always put into him, that his daughter, she tried to say a saying about it, but when he was up there, he said it. If you don't work hard and you expect it, how can you expect it? You didn't earn it.
Yep.
So it was pretty much do the work your ass off, or shut the bleep up and get the hell out of my way.
Yeah. And he's talking about it with golf, but it's applicable to every aspect of life.
Life. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So Tiger goes in. What did you guys take away? What was the most thing about the whole Hall of Fame ceremony last night that you liked, maybe you didn't like? But I just thought it was much must-watch TV, and my wife probably thought I was the biggest nerd last night because I just kept like, come on, you got to give me this hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't get to sit and watch the full thing in like peace and quiet. I was kind of hollering at kids to be quiet as I'm trying to listen here, and I was kind of surprised in his speech, I guess, what he talked about in his speech. I know you're going to thank some of those folks, like his parents and different things, but it was a lot of emphasis on his real young childhood and not much like kind of in between or, more recent. It was just kind of focused on a certain period, it seemed like. That was kind of a surprise to me.
Well,
I'd like to see him thank a few other people as well. I think we talked about that last night too, by name.
Yeah, I think just so you guys know what we're talking about, we were texting back and forth last night. We all kind of were in agreement that it would have been nice for him to name the caddies by name, Fluff and Stevie and Joe LaCava and stuff like that, but he didn't. He just said, and it was real quick about the caddies. It was really weird.
Yeah, and I would have liked, honestly.
Wasn't Tiger Stevie's best man in his wedding?
I think so.
I mean, how?
Yeah.
Dad, who's that? That's Tiger Woods. That was my best man.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I would have liked to see him thank his ex-wife, Elin, personally.
Why, though?
Because
I'm glad you brought this up again because I laughed at it last night.
I'm sure
Why?
you did. Because, first of all, that's the mother of his children.
Okay.
Okay. And so that just them being there, his children, Sam and Charlie being there, is a component in itself that I think she deserves a thank you. But also, from all the talk online, is that they have a fairly amicable relationship these days. So,
wouldn't you if they gave you $480 million?
yes, for sure. But it's just it's just another support cast. So here I'm thinking, you thank your present girlfriend. They're not engaged. They're not married. So you thank Erica in your
I think
speech.
he learned his.
And
I
they've
think
been
he learned his
together.
lesson on the first one.
But they've been together for a very short period of time, right?
Together for a while.
Short period of time in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
But yet your ex-wife and mother of your children doesn't.
Now you have to remember,
I just think that she
Tiger
deserves
was
a
on
thank-
tour and dominant before he met her.
I know that. I
Okay.
just feel like she deserves, a thank you. But
Okay. Wow.
just my thought.
Didn't think that would come out of that hanger, brother. I thought it would come out of the other. No.
So I don't know. And the mom, I think she deserves some more credit than old Pops for being tough as nails. I mean, she wasn't even
I don't
really
know.
crying.
Well,
He's up
you
there.
want her to cry? Why? Now you don't like her response to what he said? Why is she crying?
Every time they looked at her, she just looked stoic. That's why. You know what I mean? She just looked tough as nails and stoic.
I won't say what it was.
Say it.
No.
What?
This is a PC show. You can't. I don't have a clue what you're trying to say.
Neither do I. I wish I did know.
Yeah.
It's going to be bothering me the rest of the show.
So what are your thoughts?
My head's kind of a pretzel right now because you brought some different views that I didn't even think of. So it's interesting about the mom. You thought the mom should have been crying? I don't know. here, I never heard that story about him paying the mortgage back. Them taking a second mortgage on their house
You've never heard that?
to play AJGA. Never heard that they took out a second mortgage. Did you?
Yeah, I've heard
That wasn't in the HBO thing. That's been in none of the books.
Well, the HBO thing wasn't approved.
Yeah.
That wasn't consent.
Yeah. Well,
There
but
was,
it still wasn't in there though.
There was some articles back in the
people
day,
don't.
ESPN stuff, I believe, that I caught it in.
Never heard that before. I would
It's
love
kind
to
of
know
impressive.
more about that. I mean, that is insane. I think
I'm pretty sure during that
Him-
time period, I thought they had moved, though. I thought
him dressing up as Batman and going to Comic-Con.
that's
Like, I don't go to I don't even know what Comic-Con is, but can you imagine if you're a golf fan, but you go to events like that and you're like, oh my God, was that the Batman I talked to in San Diego in 2012 at that Comic-Con
I mean,
convention?
you think about it though. He's in disguise. Nobody's going to notice it.
I know. I
So
laughed.
That's honestly, if he's.
I mean,
into that-
if the guy has no problem putting on a Santa hat and has his beard in around Christmas time, he probably has no problem with Batman.
yeah, thought that
I
was
think
pretty cool.
I think that's kind of the part people forget. Like they see the video earlier in the day, him with his hat backwards, with his glasses on, and everybody's like, "Oh, BMF walking back in, owning the joint." I think that's just the persona he's got to be in to perform on
Yeah.
the golf level. When you get these snippets of him, like Fincham said in his speech, he was the most recognizable human on the planet Earth,
survey.
along with like Jordan and then like Jesus. So he was like the living athlete that was still in the sport, most recognizable person in the world, and he's dressing up as Batman going to Comic-Con.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool.
yeah. It almost seems like there's this character within a character of him that is like
I
Don't
think
you-
that's just the human side.
Don't you think there would
Yeah,
have,
I
there would
agree.
have to be,
Humans-
though? You'd have to have
human
a,
side,
a
but-
public figure and then a private figure.
I'm just
to
not
be
ne-
able to.
I'm not talking about that necessarily,
Function?
but the human side is the component that I'm talking about. Whereas it's this younger kid that maybe didn't get to live the life that other kids get to live or experience certain things. You know, it's always been, from a young age, it's always been work hard, play golf, and here's this kid that wants to have fun. He wants to experience different things. You know, like look at his best buddy JT. He's younger than him, and they seem to have an excellent relationship. You know, he's living almost vicariously through him a little bit, but that's the brother I never had.
I think that's the brother I never had. I don't think he's living through him vicariously.
Not but
I get what you're saying.
they're spending time together. They're chum, you know.
Yeah.
So
Did anybody catch the Rocco Mediate comment on one of the podcasts? I'm not sure which one it was, where he said at the '96 Phoenix Open, BMW or not BMW, Waste Management.
Yep.
His first tournament, right? Or no, his second, because he played at the
Well, his first no,
Riviera.
No, Tiger Woods' first tournament.
Oh, the one in
As a pro?
Detroit, right?
No, up in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Way
The
out.
Greater Milwaukee Open is where he made his debut. Hello World gets the hole in one.
At the Phoenix Open, they were on a hole, and big guy comes barreling through the the rope, and gets tackled like right in front of him. Rocco says, guy had a gun on him.
and that's why Tigers never went back to that tournament.
Yeah, guy had a gun on him.
I never heard this story.
Yeah.
Rocco, did you see that clip of Rocco?
I didn't see the clip, but I've heard that before too. Apparently, I got it like an inside track on information with T-Dub.
But yeah, two big security
Yeah.
guards take the guy down,
It was in a backpack or something, I believe.
and Tiger goes, didn't even phase him. Or Rocco says it didn't even phase him. He just said, it's just normal.
Well, he probably just thought I was a crazy fan and then heard about the gun later, though. Like at the time, he's in the
Yeah.
zone trying to play golf.
But that supposedly was one of the big reasons that he's never really been back to that tournament to play.
Well, I bet.
Yeah,
So
especially a rowdy and ruckus crowd like that.
How can you guarantee security when you're letting over 100,000, 200,000 people into
you
an
can't.
event?
You're so outnumbered, you can't contain people.
Mm-mm.
I mean, look at some of the tournaments where they've let people follow him up the fairways and different things. Like the first start of that at Atlanta when he won
Mm-hmm.
20, what was it 19, 18, end of 18.
Yeah.
I mean,
They used to do
you
stuff
can't
like
stop
that.
those people.
No, they did it a couple times at the Western Open.
Yeah.
Over at Cog Hill when he won, like 5 of those things.
Yeah,
Insane. But I thought one of the other things I thought was really cool was a couple people that he did point out, and those were some of his non-golf, like the childhood friend and
yeah.
the guy
Brian,
that caddied for him.
what do they call him? Debo or something like that.
Debo, yeah.
Debo.
I thought those were some really cool stories I never heard before.
I again, our kids were yelling, but did he think what's his nuts? Nota Begay? Was he?
No.
I mean, the Golf Channel thinks that Nota Begay is his best friend.
No, BA just happened to be.
Really, you brought up the Nike CEO, right?
Yeah, Phil
Yeah.
Knight
Phil Knight brought
giving him
Uh,
his first
And
contract.
the Titleist guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I think that's all he had to do. I mean,
I thought it was fine.
I think Nike should thank him more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was hoping the entire show, the presentation, that they wouldn't. I don't know. Obviously, everybody only cares about Tiger at that ceremony. That they just didn't try and emphasize only on Tiger and just keep going back to Tiger on things. That they kind
And
of
Bubba Watson was crying up top.
that
of
they
it,
shared
panning
the
him a
night
couple
with the
times.
rest of the inductees and weren't just solely focused. And they did that pretty well, I thought.
Watching that last night, and the coolest thing was, I mean, between when Sam kind of did her first introduction and then they showed the clip of some of the highlights and stuff. I mean, if
Goosebumps.
you're a golf person and you don't get chills, like goosebumps watching that, like there's something wrong with you, like. And I was thinking about this last night. It's like golf has been difficult to watch without Tiger Woods playing. Like when he's fully like done playing, because he's not right now. He's coming back,
Playing
but
in less than a month.
But what are we gonna do? Like, how's golf gonna be to watch when you know he's never gonna play in an event again? Like, it's hard to watch now. I think like to sit down and watch every round.
I feel
all
like,
4 days.
I feel like I grew up watching him,
Yeah.
and I still feel like I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, did I watch him enough?
Yeah.
You know what I
feel
mean?
deprived.
Like,
You feel
did I
deprived.
watch him enough? And the answer is most definitely yes. Before like the injuries started happening
Yeah.
and then the scandal and all that, I never missed it. But so you bring up a funny point there about him coming back. We're sitting there, and I texted you guys, but I just blurted out. I just was sitting. I was watching this, and people kept saying Tiger was the best. Tiger did do this. Tiger did this. Tiger transcended this part. He did win. He did this. And you get, they got Michael Phelps up there, Jerry Rice during the commercial, Serena Williams, Jack, and they're all saying Tiger. It was all past tense. I texted you guys this. And I just kind of chuckled out loud, and then I said it out loud. I thought I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, this fucking guy is going to use this, and he's going to come back, and he's going to compete somehow, some way, and he's going to do the Ben Hogan thing better than Ben Hogan did it, and he's going to return, and he's going to win again. And Megan said next to me, she's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, you. Yeah, sorry, you. It was just out loud, but I thought I was, in my own head, like.
I mean, just hopefully as part of his fan club, we can provide a driver for him to get to and from events.
Yeah, I'll be your Uber for free.
I agree with you though, Pappy. I was thinking
There's
the same
some
thing.
smirk in his face.
I was thinking the same thing, especially if you're Tiger and you're sitting there and they're on that screen, it's playing those highlights of you. How are you not like, I'm playing Augusta in a month? You know what I mean? Not, and maybe not, but like you're thinking, I gotta get back and play.
I think
am the
Augusta's
greatest.
a tall order, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The Open Championships at St. Andrews, kind of an easier walk than some of these
Yeah.
other places. I'm just saying this, and this isn't. Okay, maybe it's a girl boy band crush. I'm telling you, it's not. There was a smirk in
ain't
him
no
last
hobby.
This
night.
guy's wired differently.
There
He's
was
wired differently.
There was
like
just some face like he's look, Dad, thanks
when
for
he
the
was
comment.
ready to walk away from the game of golf, he was in a dark room with like 6
Mhm.
Marines getting his ass beat
Yep,
and ready to go sign up for that.
Mhm. he's different.
He's different. He's jumping out of planes during that time.
I'm
period. You know what I mean?
different. I'm different.
He'll be back for sure, and
Man,
he'll win again.
If he rolls up to the next event in a convertible, rolled up with my ceiling missing, that's a TikTok. So, all right. Any final thoughts about the Tiger Woods Hall of Fame ceremony as a whole?
I just think we need more Tiger playing golf.
Taka, 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 taka.
Yep.
And I think that here before long, it's going to. I think that Charlie got a good taste of things last night, and I don't think he'll ever be his dad, but I hope that ceremony last night was enough to
Well, whoever said
push
the
him
comment,
a little bit more to be like, I want to be good. I
was
want
it
to
Tim
play.
Fincham made
I
the
think it was
comment?
Fincham.
Why are you putting that on that kid when they're there for that? And also, real quickly, this is maybe over the top. This isn't a hot take or anything, but They should have just let Tiger have his own hour ceremony special.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry,
know, right?
but he's done that much for golf. You didn't need those people out
Could
there.
you
but
imagine the viewership?
Last night, I wonder what it was.
It
No,
has
if
to,
you had an hour of just, or hour or whatever of just,
Yeah.
it has to do
Just
with
his-
Tiger, but not the Hall of Fame thing. I think one of the absolute funniest thing is him retweeting Phil's Pip
Oh,
Pip
yeah.
win and just putting whoops.
Yep. Cha-ching.
That's awesome.
It is.
Now, granted, he probably didn't do it. Probably one of his media people, but still, it's awesome.
Yep. One of the things I don't understand is why they do the Hall of Fame ceremony not at the Hall of Fame, but at TPC Sawgrass during the Players Championship. But we can talk about that a different day if you guys would like, and we can actually just dive into the tournament. I think
Yeah.
they're back out playing now. It's been a long rain delay today.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, our plan was to do a live show today while they play, and after talking and dealing with this rain delay, just a little nugget in the future, we're hoping to do a live viewing party event for the par 3 tournament
Live from.
the Masters. So that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Are we allowed to say that, or is the Golf Channel got that on lockdown?
Probably.
The Masters
live
in
from.
Universe He-Man movie on April 6th. Viewing party.
I just meant the
You
live.
didn't let me finish. You always
Live
cut me
from.
off.
Live from.
We're going to be doing a viewing party of a golf tournament in a state north of Florida.
Sometimes all I think about is you.
So, TPC Sawgrass, great course.
Yeah, you've played it, right?
Played it. Yep, that's we got on the camera here. I don't know if it's in the lens, but it's the yardage book I got back in 2010. Scorecard there. I had to show you guys earlier. Actually played it the day. Weird story. I played it the day Tiger had to give his speech on his infidelity. So we come in. They checked our licenses at 5 different checkpoints driving in. It's not that long of a drive in.
I thought it was an addiction, not.
And then Buddhism. Yeah, he said Buddhism. No. Anyways, so yeah, we were there. We're in the pro shop, and they, rush him through after his little speech, and they get all in their, Escalades or Tahoes, and they wisp away. But it was a pretty interesting time for sure. But the golf course was awesome.
What'd you shoot?
85.
Were you pleased with the 85, or
Played
did
it
you
all
feel
the way
like you
back.
left
by
some
the way.
shots out
all
there?
the way back. I had 3 birdies, so I was happy. Long story short, I was down there for a company meeting for a management company I worked for, and I actually won an award at the award ceremony that night, corporate wide, and got my picture taken with Billy Casper and all this
Prestige
stuff.
Worldwide.
Big time. And then when everybody went to bed, I tied one off, and I was pretty hungover when I was at Sawgrass. I was so hungover.
So
I had
you
a-
solo tied one on?
No, there was like
Oh, okay.
7 of us, and I had to take a shower at Sawgrass when we got there. That's how hungover
Try
I
to
was.
sweat it out. Hey, I've been there before.
I had to get it
Not
just
Sawgrass, but
from the hotel to Sawgrass. It was coming out of my pores,
I've had some rough mornings on a golf course before.
But it was a really cool experience. But yeah, the course you get? I mean, obviously the Island Green. We're gonna take that one off the board. But what 2-3 holes would you really be licking your chops to play if you got out there?
4.
4. Birdied it.
What's that par 5 on the
11.
back side? Might be 11.
It's either
When
11 or
JT
16.
hit that little low roper last year. When he
No,
was
that's 16.
16.
16,
I think
yeah.
16 would be cool. Because that's the water left, right, and then water right, kind of. Yeah.
There's a couple of 4.
No trees. There's no water left.
I thought there was a little bit of water left. No.
It's trees, and then it's a dog leg kind of.
Yeah, then it cuts back with the green by the water there.
It's like one of the principles of Pete Dye design. He's going to make you go right to left off the tee, and then he's going to make you go left to right, with your approach shot to it.
Yeah.
So what I learned about Pete Dye designs, not to change the subject, but it's in relation to Pete Dye, is off the tee, there's a circular bunker that is supposed to be the aiming point. Do you know that?
So that's not all of his courses.
Okay.
So like Whistling Straits is a perfect example. There's usually like a Mugo or Juniper out there on the blind tee shots where you can't see the fairway and you gotta it's pretty crazy. He always
Okay.
gives you an aim point.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I don't know. I just would like to play the course in general, so nothing.
So they
Specific, but-
built this course. They bought the land for $1. It was a swamp.
It's impressive.
Kind of crazy, huh?
Sounds like Disney.
So
The drivable par 4, that probably wasn't a drivable par 4 when you played it maybe.
12.
Yeah.
So what they did there is they added the pond and stuff like that. It was a short hole. I birdied that hole. Thanks for bringing that up. I hit driver, little sand wedge into like 3 feet and knocked it in.
There are 2 to 3 par fours I feel that are like the exact same hole out there.
The Island Green was his wife's idea.
No,
Where they jot back or jot out, jog back, and then jog back. Force carry over a bunker or some.
I'll
some
tell you that
form
one
of
of
water.
the harder holes out there is 14. 14 is a tough son of a gun.
Bunker left.
Bunker, but it goes into a pond,
Yeah.
and then where your landing area is, there's another one up to the other area, and it kind of pinches you there.
That green
and you,
kind of like this
and
little
you
bit.
gotta hit it dry. You
Yeah.
gotta hit it long because you're gonna, it's one of those long, truly long par fours, and
Sounds like hole 1.
that hole is tough. One's not that tough.
No, I know, but it's
Yeah.
again it pinches you where
Right.
you
Yep.
take an aggressive line.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel
Yeah,
like there's
14 is a tough hole.
9,
that
par
th-
5,
that
tough hole.
Yeah.
Par 3 8.
It's just long.
The pros probably play it long. It's probably not long for.
When we played, it was like 240,
Oh wow.
243.
17, I saw a little clip last night, which I didn't realize before, but that Island Green was his wife's idea.
Birdied it.
Did you?
Yep.
Where was the pin?
It was upper shelf, but kind of the middle-ish right, and hit it to about 18 feet pin high. Hit a
Made
little
it.
sawed-off 9-iron in there. Made her.
Nice.
Let's just say
Yeah, you
it
said they started digging.
echoed. Echoed. Yeah, mother.
They started digging out some of that, and his wife was like, just keep going. Just keep digging.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they had an Island Green.
Yeah. Pretty cool story
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I would just like to play it. Hopefully get down there one of these days.
It's
It always
definitely
looks
worth it.
immaculate, so that's what another thing that
Well,
appeals.
so they moved it to May because it was Bermuda. This is all ryegrass pretty much. This is
Yeah.
all overseeded. So after this tournament, they'll just kind of let it, it'll start to choke itself out once the
Mhm.
temperatures down there get hot, and they'll just spray Roundup on it probably because the Roundup won't really affect the Bermuda. But
Yeah.
no, it is. It's a cool track too.
Didn't I take
Clubhouse
Victor
is
Hovland?
huge. Yeah, I think no, you didn't have.
Yeah, I
Victor Hovland.
traded this morning.
No, there's no trades. You went.
Made a trade before the coverage started.
Joel, who'd you go with this week to win?
Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler gonna
He'll
go
probably
for the
won't
big
win.
one.
Hovland does not get cheated on his golf swing. He swings so hard.
You think so?
I feel like every shot he's going at it like balls to the wall.
Okay.
Who'd you take, Pappy?
I went with who did I go with?
Cam Smith.
Yeah, Cam Smith. I put money on him too on my account.
Did you?
Yeah, and he's one of the guys I put money on for Augusta as well.
I
I have a lot of money on golf bets. I realized in my sport
saw a
app.
bogey save there for
Jean Rondom.
on 18, which they showed a stat earlier of Adam Scott making he was hitting his fifth shot into the green. He had a couple balls into the water. I think his career scoring on that hole is like plus 25 or something like that.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you get the long iron in your hand because they're playing at 462. And let's just say you're an average goat and you block a shot way right and you got to hit 5-iron into there and you see the water. I bailed out to the mobiles to the right of the green net. You never see anybody playing from on TV.
Yeah.
Who'd you take?
Hovland.
No. Who'd you
You
take?
didn't take out.
You're such a cheater.
Originally, it was Kepka, I think.
No.
I said
Koepka
yes. I
and
said
then-
Kepka,
and then
dark
Jason
horse,
Day.
Jason Day. And then this morning, I said I'm trading for Hovland.
After you saw he was 2 under 3.
No, I didn't see any
2
scores
holes.
yet. Nope.
You want Hovland then? All right, whatever.
Okay. Well, just to rewind real quick to the
By the way, at 17 here, Kepka's scoring average is not great either. You'd have to look it up, but it's horrendous.
see, I don't get it. It's not that hard of a shot. It's really not. It's wedge 9-iron. But that's because they get so greedy and they go for it and they get in the the water. Or they get to the I don't know. It's just whatever. Going back to the Hall of Fame ceremony last night, they talked about it was the lady who built Cypress Point, and I thought it was a really cool story. Did you guys catch all that? And
I did with the 2 guys.
Well, Seth Rayner passes away in the middle of making it, so she goes out and gets a young guy by the name of Alistair McKenzie, And then she takes him over to the land where Pasatiempo is.
Did you see the photos of that back in the day?
Yeah. And then she has him build that place.
Those dunes and everything?
And Bobby Jones plays those places in tournaments and is like, wow, I really like this design. And so that's how Bobby Jones asked Alistair McKenzie to help him build Augusta National. And that's how we have Augusta National the way it is. So I think the Augusta, the way they give all these nods, I don't know, maybe her name should be on the trophy they award at the Women's Amateur or something. I don't know, because if it's not her getting, Alistair McKenzie his start over there and Bobby Jones falling in love with it, Bobby Jones ain't using him to help him build Augusta, right?
Right. Why I kept going back to that on 17 with Koepka, he was asked, because his scoring average is not great on that hole, so they were asking him, what's the second scariest shot in golf? In this little, I don't know if it was golf.com, golf channel.
He said
second scariest shot in golf. What do you think he said?
He said when you got a drop when you already got one in the water at 17.
The drop zone from 17 is the
Well,
second.
you don't go over there.
Yeah.
You don't go over there.
Yeah, and they're talking about re-hitting from the tee is a better play than the drop zone.
Yep.
So
You guys know how I do on that 50 to 80 yard
just a little
shot.
chunker. How many do you think you'd put in the water if you chunked the first one in there?
Oh, fuck, it'd be a mind game. It'd turn into a mind.
I've at Whitehawk several years ago. I've done that a few times where I've hit one in the water off the tee, go to the drop zone, and then I've hit a few in the water just because it's that little. You can throw it up there, but it's just easy to chunk it.
I guess.
I guess. Not all of us are nice diggers and don't have to worry about.
Yeah, you just dig deeper, man. It'll be fine. It puts the side spin back on the ball for you or something. I don't know. But all right. So what do you guys got coming up in your own golf games in the next couple of weeks? Like we said, Sunday the weather starts breaking 51, and then it's full steam ahead. It doesn't really go into the back into the 40s for a high again.
We got a little net par golf tonight.
Ooh, okay.
5 o'clock.
Is this a league thing?
Yep.
Okay.
It's 4:30.
5. Told you 5 to 7. Gonna get there late, or you have to leave early. Anyway, you want to sub tonight for him? You want to play for him?
I'm actually going to a class on TikTok.
Oh yeah, that's right. What'd you say was your niece?
Well, yeah, we're not gonna. Yeah,
So your niece is gonna help you out?
No, it's a accredited course at IUPUI.
And he's getting some Cs
It's a
for it.
one-night seminar.
He's
yeah.
getting some C's.
Or it's my niece in St.
I probably will not tee it up until spring break. So
You going anywhere for spring break?
Florida,
Nice.
South Florida.
Sunday maybe. Depends on what time the temperature ticks up warm enough to get out. If it's late afternoon, then probably not.
It's gonna be late afternoon. Yeah.
So, but
What about you?
it's probably it.
I'm gonna probably be out there. I'm thinking maybe Monday afternoon. After you punch the clock to get out of work. I was actually reading
Playing
an
out
article.
here or playing at the Seasons?
Well, geez, just put out all my social information, personal information. I'll be playing Yuki, walking it. I was actually reading an article the other day about buggy over in the UK, how much walking has increased the last 2 years of COVID. 44% of golf has gone to walking. 44% more of people are walking. And I was walking last fall a little bit with a little cart over there, and I think I'm going to do it some more.
So you're going to try to increase the amount of walking this year for playing?
I think so. I think it's I think it's kind of when you're younger and you carry your bag, I can't wait till I get into a golf cart. But honestly, I think it'd be peaceful to just walk.
It is, and
You can strap a little speaker and still have your music. You can still have a
people
cooler.
laugh, but I do. For me, I feel like you play faster because you're going from point A to point B. You're not driving over here to find some. It just seems faster.
Yeah, or then you're
More-
not like, hey Jimmy, how would you play this shot? Oh, Tommy, I would play it this way. Oh, okay. It's yeah.
I say it often that I should walk more, but I don't. I like riding in a cart.
And when you got your own cart, you just like to drive it.
Yeah, it sounds like we got a little back and forth going on with some guys in the league that have a cart.
Have a cart. What?
One guy owns a cart. We got a potential league partnership going on that the other guy wants to drive his cart on league nights. So
Got that going on.
Whatever. You guys figure it out. But all right, guys. Well, I think this will be. I think they got some bad weather for Sawgrass for the players, but I think by Sunday they'll get it in somehow, some way, and it'll be nice down there, and we'll have a new players champion, and we'll see if Mike you get one right here.
Hovland, I've been pretty
Well,
good.
it's not gonna be Ricky Fowler.
I've been pretty good, boys, the last how many ever weeks with picks.
I'll go back and find out the totals for the season.
I like that.
I didn't get off to a good start the first couple we did, but I've been doing pretty well.
And just before we sign off for the show tonight, everybody kind of keep your eye on a guy named Gary Woodland the next couple weeks.
He has one decent showing. and
Telling
we're all
you,
about him.
the arrow is going up on that guy.
Okay, so
You don't win the U.S. Open at Pebble Beach if you're not a good golfer.
when that was been how
Graham-
long ago
Graham
now?
McDowell too.
16 or something, 17.
Wasn't that far back?
I think so.
No. 18?
No, well, in
18
wasn't
or
it
19?
2010, Graham McDowell won it.
It's been a long time. It's been 5 years, 4 years.
No,
It's not been 2016. That would be 6 years ago.
His exemption is almost up for automatic entry.
I think it was 18.
5 years. Then.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you on that.
Why are you on the Woodland kick? Because
I like his game. I think anybody that can win with Wilson deserves an extra nod.
last week he had the golf tournament in his pocket,
hmm
and the last 2 holes.
He's getting used to being in the saddle again.
Ah.
No, those 2 holes he's done. That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying because of those 2 holes. I'm just saying I don't. I mean, he's been playing decent, but I don't see him getting to the winner's circle anytime soon.
Okay.
But leaving that one in the bunker was definitely an average goat move.
Oh,
Like that was fucking awesome.
there were some
That was
a lot of
terrible.
goats.
I mean, just pure average goat. Balls on the upslope, and
I mean, I'd rather see a blade into the freaking stands deep than that.
Well, that's like a while back, the Dustin Johnson, the
Yeah.
bunker debacle we shared on
Yeah.
social media. It's just, they
yeah. You guys shared some good stuff out there, huh? I better pay attention.
so.
You talked about some few things you put out there.
You knew that though. Wink, wink. So, all right, guys. I will. We'll see you next week.